Direction, I commend it to the House.
Mr. Speaker.
Chris Ockenwald.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I anticipated hearing Mr. Tirikatene speak on his first, I think it's his first bill in the House. I thought a man with a noble name, a good lineage, an orator to behold. But sadly, he came up with this one, which really, as someone has already suggested, perhaps is something simply drawn out that he then had to build a case around as best he could. But I was astonished, Mr. Speaker, I was astonished to hear that the research he's done was on the Victorian era and he finds that we haven't moved forward since then. That defies imagination, and it shows really the level that Labour is at. They wish to stop everything. This government is committed to increasing opportunities. I've heard this evening that 10-year-olds can't negotiate. When I was 10, I negotiated my first contract on a Thursday afternoon. What's that? Well, which one would you like to hear? and I negotiated without any trouble at all in Suffolk, in the marketplace, and ever since then, whenever I have negotiated a position for myself, it has always been as a contractor. So I don't know why people wish to deny, I don't know why that side of the House wishes to deny opportunities to entrepreneurial young people. They do exist. I was told by a colleague this evening, he showed me the top 25 young entrepreneurs. They're young, they're successful, they negotiate. Why does Labour want to stifle any individual ability? The bill might have positive intent, but it doesn't have positive effect. And this is symptomatic of the party, Mr. Speaker, that is responsible for it. And that's something that worries us. It worries us. Labour's current state. We do. Why? The current leadership is failing them. Why else would they promote a jobs bill which increases overheads and reduces opportunities and reduces the likelihood? When I think of the jobs that I negotiated for myself as a boy, brought up by a single parent, when I think of those jobs that I negotiated, they would never have been offered. They'd never have been offered as employment opportunities as an employee. It didn't work that way. I worry for Labour because this bill does not bode well for their future. It is symptomatic of their frame of mind at the moment, which, far from being bright, is looking more and more like that which befell the crew of the Bounty. They're not sure what's going to happen to them. So while this national government is focused on ensuring our employment relations framework is fair, flexible and entrepreneurial, the opposition seem focused on internal dramas and wanting everything suppressed. I've heard them speak of the meeting we had, the select committee meeting that we had in the House this afternoon. And again, it was let's suppress opportunity, let's suppress entrepreneurial activity. It's these theatrics taking the eye off the ball that leads to bills like this one. So I worry, Mr. Speaker, about Labour and the opposition. The House should not be debating this bill. It should be as focused as the government is on helping young people into work, not trying to get them out of it. While opposition have shown nothing but opposition, we on this side have been working. We introduced the starting out wage, which will help more young New Zealanders to get a foothold on the employment ladder. That's a good one, no matter what was said about it this afternoon by the other side. We introduced a 90-day trial period for new employees. Where are the complaints? Where was the raft of awful examples? Didn't happen. Oops, you had two.
Not today.
Two. And they're the first ones to service. We introduced the Flexibility in the Holidays Act. Not too many complaints about that, other than from the party. While I might not be as youthful as my colleague from Tamaki, both Simon O'Connor and I understand that as young workers, the last thing you need is a bill in Parliament which threatens to remove incentive for employers to take on young workers for short-term, unskilled work by making the process unnecessarily complicated. Mr. Speaker, we're approaching Christmas. I hadn't expected Labor to be such Christmas Grinches as they're turning out to be with this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Barbara Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of New Zealand First, I'm pleased to take a call on the